What's going on YouTube? Jim11 here. We are back. In last video we just talked about the game of KAIJUDO. We talked about the anatomy of the cards, and now for part 2 we're staying tuned with Mr. Toto, and we are going to talk about game mechanics, how you set up your field, how the game is actually played. So take it away, Toto.
Alright, what's going on YouTube? KAIJUDO lesson 2, setting up the board. Alright, so we're back with my old buddy Diabrost and his black-green friends. You saw a few examples. You saw a few examples of how they work in the last video. Now I want to show you what a turn looks like. So, KAIJUDO plays with a 40-card deck using a 3-copy rule, similar to Yu-Gi-Oh! Difference is there's no maximum deck size. So you can play 40, you can play 60. It's all up to you. All right. The game is divided into 5 civilizations, chiefly the color of the card: green or nature, black or darkness, and there's red for fire, blue for water, and yellow for light. Similar to the way Magic has green, blue, black, red.
What is this, green, black?
This is green, black, yes. This is a ramp deck based on playing a series of dark boss monsters. Because, frankly, these dudes are cool. These dudes are cool-looking cards, and I like to put cool-looking cards on the table.
Thumbs up for cool-looking cards.
Just want to give a shout-out right now to another YouTuber. Sorry, James. If you guys want to check out some excellent videos, Denver KAIJUDO's Preston actually inspired this deck with his Orion deck, so you can go check that out. Perhaps in the future we'll introduce you to Orion over the course of a game. Alright, but
I'll put a link in the description, and the link will be somewhere on the video.
Check out Denver KAIJUDO and check out Preston's Orion deck. We haven't met, but thanks, buddy. This deck is fun as hell. Now, we'll talk a little bit about how the game works. So like I said, it's a 40-card minimum, 3-copy rule. It means you can have up to 3 copies of any card in your deck. If they do ban lists and things like that later, we'll adjust it. Duel Masters, I think, has like a 4-page ban list because they have like 12 sets we never saw. Now, so to start the game, you start by shuffling and cutting your deck, i.e. every other card game on the planet. Remember, that's a 40-card deck, so it is easy to stack the same way you stack in Yu-Gi-Oh! But the game doesn't, because the game has mana, it doesn't really let you do so. If you're concerned about your opponent stacking, 40 cards does not divide into 7, so asking your opponent to pile shuffle in 7 piles prevents stacking. Now, you're going to start the game by playing shields. The first 5 cards of your deck get played out face down on the table, like so. Alright? Over the course of the game, these shields will be broken, they'll add cards to your hand, and if you get attacked while you have none of these shields left, you lose.
Okay, so you...
Alright, that's the basic win condition for KAIJUDO. Now, where you actually place these on the table is kind of irrelevant. You can place them over here, you can place them here, so long as your opponent knows that they're shields, and your opponent, and you have room to easily declare all 3 zones. So you have 3 zones to your table. You have what's called the battle zone. It's typically the area in the middle. Both players play their creatures there. It's where the battle happens. Otherwise, they wouldn't call it that. You have a shield zone. It's where you place your shields, and then typically you have your mana underneath it. Unlike in Duel Masters, where mana was played with the card physically upside down like so, in Duel Masters, in KAIJUDO, I'm sorry, it doesn't so much matter. So, the shield zone is used to differentiate between the creatures that are in play and the mana you're using. So it should probably be in the center of your table. That said, we'll give you an example.
There's nothing like the look on someone's face when you show up on their doorstep a half hour after they ripped off your door, and they go, and the bloom of recognition, they realize they lost.
Don't steal. Alright, okay, so, this is what a field in KAIJUDO might look like. Realistically, KAIJUDO players, I'm probably gonna win this game. Without me having to explain too much what the cards are. If you can recognize them, I'm probably gonna win. Now, This will show you good differentiation between, sorry, we'll adjust it for the purposes of YouTube. This will show you good differentiation between the types of cards being played. Here you can see there are at least 5 spells in my mana, right? They couldn't be on the board. So they couldn't stay on the field, so this has to be my mana. This we already covered shields, and these creatures I'm going to kill you with.
So if we're looking at it, actually, this is the middle of the field.
Yes.
So this is as if, as you're watching, you would be playing. So this is how you would view it.
Here's the FPJ mode for KAIJUDO. It's first person judo. Anyway, that's what a field looks like. Let's walk through a turn, shall we? Alright. Before we start, we'll cover another easy question card gamers usually have. Player 1, you can't attack. It's good because most turn 1 cards can't attack. All cards have summoning sickness. Every single one of them. Okay? I'm sorry, you know what? I'm wrong. I should be teaching you to play the right way. Turn 1, player, if you have fast attack, haste for Magic players, you can attack. I don't remember how to play this game. No. Most creatures have summoning sickness, like in Magic. So, yeah. Most turn 1s can't attack, but the game will let you. Now, like I said, summoning sickness. Player 1, what you can't do is draw a card. So, you'll start off by placing your shields. You'll then draw 5 cards. Now, you choose to go first if you win the die roll, whatever the case may be. This hand is actually pretty good. Aha! This is my hand. You don't have to know why this hand is good, but when you look at this video 2 months after playing, you realize this hand is good. Now,
so you place 5 shields, draw 5 cards.
Right. Now, let's say I won the toss, right? I don't draw. Sorry, you don't get to draw on turn 1. You can play creatures, you can play mana, you can't draw. So, I'm going to choose a card in my hand. Now, most of the cards in my hand are green, so I want to make sure I get into the color as fast as possible. However, this is a playstyle choice, YouTube. Since most of the cards in my hand are green, I know I'll have access to them immediately. I look at the costs in my hand, I know none of them are 1-drops. So, I'm going to play Diabrost, as much as it pains me, as mana on turn 1. To make sure that since all the cards in my hand are green, I have access to black mana.
Now, why is that mana?
It's mana because I say it is.
You can take any card in your hand and make it mana?
Since you don't have land in this game, all cards in your deck serve 2 purposes. They can be played, or they can be what's called charged as mana.
So that's counted as one.
It's counted as 1 dark, yes.
So if you were to play a dark card from your hand, not this turn, or like another turn, if it had a cost of 1, you could tap that. How does it work?
I'm glad you asked. We're getting to that. One of maybe the most disputable rules to KAIJUDO among card gamers I've spoken to, maybe one of the coolest things I think about the strategy of the game, is in order to play a card, you don't need to tap its color. You simply need to control its color.
Really?
Yes. So, in Duel Masters, in order to play Moonhowler, I would need to tap 1 green and 1 of anything.
Why does it say 1 green and 1 of anything?
Because it's a green creature and has a cost of 2. Okay? Okay. In KAIJUDO, I simply need to control a green mana and tap 2 of any color to play Moonhowler.
Okay.
Okay?
But after you tap it, you can't use that mana?
Right. After you tap it, that mana is considered spent until the next turn when it untaps.
It untaps right before your turn?
It untaps during the draw step.
Okay.
It's called an untap step. Now, I played a mana. Important point about KAIJUDO, and this is mostly in deference to Magic players. The phase order of KAIJUDO is untap, draw, mana, main phase. Okay? So, if you have open mana, you can play a creature during your main phase, you can play a spell, whatever, right? If you skip the mana step, you cannot play a card as mana from your hand during any other portion of the turn. Okay? Unless a card effect gives you mana. So, if I elect not to play a card during the mana step, I play a card here that draws me into a card I want to cast. I can't play a card to be able to have it, right? So, to simplify, playing mana is its own step in KAIJUDO. You can choose to skip it, but if you skip it, you can't play mana later without a card effect giving you something.
Gotcha.
Okay? There's no artifacts, No, nothing.
But if you play it, let's just say you play a mana first turn.
Yep.
You can use that mana.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yes. If you have a 1-cost creature.
A 1-cost creature.
Yes. Now, little note for the future YouTubers, if you're going to start getting into this game, in March, we'll get the first release of multicolored creatures. Okay? In order to play a multicolored creature, you have to already control both types of mana it requires. Okay? So, in order to play a green-black creature, I would need to control 1 green mana and 1 black mana. Okay? Now, I'm sure you're going to ask the next question, so I'll answer it before you even get there. If I play a green-black creature as mana, it comes into play tapped. Okay?
So if you're going to play the mana, it comes in already tapped.
Right. If you're going to play a multicolored creature as mana, it comes in tapped. Okay?
But we're not going to get to multicolored right now. We're just going to just keep going.
It does give you access to both mana at a time.
Awesome.
Okay? So, we'll go through a turn. So I'm going to play Diabrost as mana. And then we'll say I went second because I have 5 cards in my hand. I have no cards that I can play at 2, so I'll pass. Okay.
Why does it come out there?
It doesn't. I was moving over here so that you have, so it looks like the turn player. Now.
All right. So this is turn player. This is your field.
Yes. Here you go, YouTube. 3D KAIJUDO.
That's your hand.
Yep. So now I'll pass. Now my opponent will play mana. Maybe they have a 1-cost creature. Maybe they don't. Either way, we're betting it has Summoning Sickness, so it's now my turn. All right. So I'll draw a card. I'll draw Reaping Cell. This won't be good yet, but it'll be. But it'll 100% be good later on, probably on turn 4. Now, let's look at our hand and we'll see what the next card we want to play is. Looking at our costs, we have Terror Pit and we have Root Trap, 2 of the strongest cards in the game. Terror Pit will kill anything and is a Shield Blast. Root Trap will make anything mana and is a Shield Blast. So, we know that neither of these cards are probably going to be relevant for a few turns, so we'll play one of them as mana. Now, we're going to assume we don't want to ramp our opponent. Sometimes, as you'll learn later on, ramping your opponent is better than straight up killing their creature. But, that's usually only late game. So for now, we'll play the Root Trap as mana. Now that we have green mana in play and black mana in play, and the total amount of mana we have is 2, we're going to tap it and play our buddy, the Moonhowler Tribe. He's now in play. Since he doesn't have fast attack, he's got to sit there, because this game does have Summoning Sickness.
Alright.
Okay?
Makes perfect sense.
So let's say next turn, right? Let's say my opponent attacked with their creature they played on turn 1. They attacked this shield. Your opponent chooses which shield they want to bring.
Now you don't attack monsters?
You can only attack a creature if it's tapped.
Okay.
Or if a card effect says otherwise.
And it taps when it
taps when it attacks, yes.
Okay, that makes sense.
Okay, so my opponent chose to break this shield. So I reveal it. It's a Prickleback. Sweet. So this card now goes to our hand. We have 4 shields remaining, and it's our turn. So we'll draw a card. It's another Root Trap. This time we'll hold it in our hand, because frankly we may need it later. So,
This is untap?
this untaps, yes. So now we'll play the Root Trap, because our opponent, the Return Soil, a little bit of spot removal, because our opponent now has a tapped creature. It'll be easy pickings for our Moonhowler Tribe. Okay? So we have 3 mana out, so we'll tap 1 green, and we'll play the Prickleback. Now, remember that I said we have black mana, we have green mana? I could tap the black for Prickleback too.
Because you control the green.
Right. But it's kind of a judgment call at this point. Now, Prickleback has Summoning Sickness. Okay? Yes. Moonhowler does not. So Moonhowler can tap himself to pick on my opponent's creature. Alright?
Because it's already tapped.
Right. KAIJUDO is a numbers game. The more creatures out, the more control you have over the board.
Now what is the requirements to be able to attack a shield?
You choose to attack it.
So you can just choose to attack, even with like a level, something with a cost amount of like 1 and only has like however many Prickleback has with a low cost.
Shields have stats of 0.
Okay.
Okay. They are level 0. They are level nothing. Their power is nothing. They are not on the field. Okay. So, if your opponent has no tapped creatures, you must attack a shield. Unless you have a card effect that lets you attack untapped creatures. That's great. You must attack a shield. Or you can choose to pass. Sometimes choosing to pass is relevant because you don't want to give your opponent cards in their hand.
Yes, because when you attack a shield, that card goes to your hand and you can use it.
Right. Now,
are there any instants in the deck?
There are Shield Blasts can be considered instants.
Like counter cards, hand traps?
Not so much, no.
Okay.
It's a very, very simple game. It's a very easy game to learn. It takes about 20 minutes. You can go to KAIJUDO.com or Wizards of the Coast /KAIJUDO, and you can. Both of those links should be in the description.
Yep, they will be.
Okay, cool. And they have a few learn to play videos on there, as well as some online tutorials, some strategy tips you can check out. As far as meta-analysis, we'll wait till you guys get into the game.
Yep.
For now, that's basically it. If you have any questions, feel free to leave them in the comments below. James will try to answer them, and if he doesn't, I'll give him the answers.
Alright guys, so don't forget to comment, like, subscribe. Don't forget to check out the other videos. If you didn't check out the previous video for the game card analysis, don't forget to check that out. Thumbs these up, it really does help a lot. And if you guys would want to see another tutorial on how to play a game, give me what game you want to see. So my name is Jim11, this is John Toto, and I'll see you guys later. Peace.